This is 54 Golf. I am Jerome. I'm joined with the whole team except for Aaron. He has to work. We're going to give you a great show tonight. Ryder Cup. Thoughts, feelings, reactions. We're going to start with you, Austin. Give me a quick 60-second overview. What are you feeling?
Feeling in a whole recap, I kind of knew it was going to go this route. I did not expect USA to bring it as close as they were going to bring it. The fans, I feel like everybody's been talking about them. That's what you get when you spend $750 on tickets. The entitled people that can afford it are going to be out there thinking they can do whatever they want. Europe, hats off to them. They did a great job. They play well together. They do everything that they do. And I feel like that's really it. That's all I got for it.
Appreciate it. Cheech, give me your reaction.
Glad I didn't spend the time watching it. I was right in what I said earlier in the week that Europe was just, Europe plays for the name on their chest and for each other. They don't play for each other, for individual like we do. I was surprised at the comeback on Sunday. I'll give all those guys a lot of credit for that. That was a lot of guts it took for them to do that. But it just goes to show you how much more it means to the European side than it does to us. So. I don't see it not happening again in 2027 because Europe's going to probably have the exact same team going into 2027.
Jay, what are your reactions?
I think we all kind of expected the outcome. I know myself, I know Cheech, I know a couple of us really thought the European team had an extremely strong team. I knew they were going to come out guns a-blazing, backed by their little king there, Rory. I do think the Ryder Cup is entertaining to watch no matter the outcome. A lot of good positives came out of it, but also the first 2 days were tough for the U.S., obviously. The last day was really cool, though, seeing DeChambeau come back from 5 down, really fight and show his pride for his country. That was really cool to see him come back and gain that half point. He was pumped. That kind of set the tone. You saw Cam Young make that putt, which was awesome. You saw Justin Thomas make the putt, all when they needed it. And then ultimately Shane Lowry made the putt that he needed to make, and they were better than we were, and there's no doubt about it. But it was interesting and fun to watch, entertaining, but kind of knew it was going to happen anyway, so is what it is. Not too shocked.
Okay. All right. So Aaron, obviously, being the all-seeing, all-knowing mastermind behind 54 Golf, he posted regarding his feelings on everything. If you haven't seen it, Aaron's going to put it up right now. 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Bingo, right there. Obviously, one of the big things that he was talking about is how, one of the things that the U.S. can do better for the next time around is going to be to not rely on OWGR to make the team, but actually have the captain make his picks based on who he feels is going to do best. What are you guys' feelings on that? Do you agree with Aaron? Do you think having a captain make his own choice is going to give us a better shot at winning for the next Ryder Cup, or are we just fucked either way?
Are you talking all 12 picks? Are you talking all 12 picks? That a captain gets to pick all 12 picks? No OWGR.
Right. No OWGR interference and being hamstrung into choosing a team.
So I would like that better. I think a lot of us would see a team that we prefer over a team that gets points and gets in there. Again, we don't really agree with how the OWGR is run anyway, and it limits other people from getting in that we want to see in. But I think you have to be able to have live guys like Phil and Stenson and Sergio be able to be captains, because you have to be able to see it from all different sides. You can't have the same people, built up by the PGA Tour picking their guys. I think it limits our side. And when I say our side, I mean Liv, obviously. And I think it really puts all their picks into a box, and they don't think outside of the box. So I think it would be cool because every time you have a different captain, they're going to have a different opinion on who the best player or best guy for the job is. So that would be interesting. You might not get the same guys year after year, but having a guy like, I'm not necessarily downing Russell Henry or Harris English or guys like that, but even Colin Morikawa, when you're not having a good season, you shouldn't be picked. It should be based on performance. It should be based on, like Nick and I were talking about in that group chat, how they have done over time in team type events, or Ryder Cup in particular. I think all those factors come into play, and I think I think it would be really, really, really interesting to have a captain and their squad of captains or of coaches, whatever, pick each player. I think that would be really cool for the sport.
I agree with you. Also, shout out Nick. Aaron put a really embarrassing photo of him right here. All right.
Uh, I got plenty of them.
Austin, I know. Austin. So
I'm not
Jay
seeing
gave a
anything.
really
So.
good answer, but let me ask you this, Austin. In your opinion, do you think we stand a chance of beating them if we go with straight up 12 captains picks?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't even know if it needs to be all 12. I'd be happy with if you've won a major in the past year, you're allowed to be in. I feel like that's fair enough. If you won a major in the past 365 days, you're probably good enough to play in the Ryder Cup. Everybody else, I feel like you got to get picked up at that point in time.
Now, so you're saying the 4 major winners of that year, or you're saying of the
If they're
2 years?
if they're American.
Well, because I feel like the last major you qualified based on points, you're getting into it in that scenario for.
But it could
So
be 4 people, it could be 8 people, depending on the 2 years in between each Ryder Cup. You're
right.
saying if you win a major, you're
So
in. So that's 8. That could be 8 guys, or it could be 6 guys, or it could be 4 guys, depending on if people win doubles and if they're
right
American or not. Like Chris
because
said.
they could all be European or they could all be American at
Right.
that point.
Okay.
I feel like if you've won a major, I feel like at that point in time you qualify for it.
That's
And
interesting.
maybe it needs to be 365 days from that calendar year. But I'm okay with that, and then everything else is captain picks. But to answer your question on that, yes, I without a doubt believe USA could build a team that could beat Europe. It just has to be a better team. I think they could have probably won if they did a better job of choosing the teams in the first 2 days.
So you
Okay,
mean
so now Austin,
you mean the pairings,
Yeah.
Austin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, hold on.
So wait,
Before
before we dig in any deeper, Cheech, I want to get your opinion on that. Go ahead. You seem to have a dissenting opinion. So before we dive deeper, Cheech, why don't you give us your opinion on that?
I don't think that first things first, Keegan should have picked himself to play because it would have took one of those captain's picks like Morikawa out, and Keegan would have played so much better than that. Keegan would have been able to get the whole team fired up by making birdies himself and doing stuff himself. I think that would have been huge. That fight they showed on Sunday, where the fuck was that on Saturday and Sunday? It was nowhere to be freaking found. Nowhere to be found. I played better golf this weekend than those guys did. It was ridiculous.
Because sadly, they were playing for themselves.
All right. You two played that. Yes, you two played that course this year. That course was set up so fucking easy this weekend with all the shots that you could have hit, spinning balls out of the rough like they did and all that stuff. I mean, come on. It was set up easy enough for them to win. And in my personal opinion, no matter what they do with these picks, I don't think we could beat Europe. That team is just too good. Those guys are too good. And Victor Hovland did play on Sunday for his freaking left toe hurting or whatever the fucking joke of a reason was.
That's a whole other topic.
I'm sorry. That team is just
that is definitely something
that team is just too good.
Totally understand that.
I just think that team is just too. I think the team is too good, and they're going to have the same exact team. Maybe take Holgard out and put someone else, but that team is just too good.
I hate on JT a ton. Never been a fan, not a fan. I will say, though, outside of Bryson DeChambeau, he fired up the USA crowd the best he could. He hushed them when they were going crazy. And he played well. And you know what? I forget every 2 years that he does participate, or he does play very well in Ryder Cups, and he probably deserves the spot as a captain's pick, or whether he was I think he might have. Did he qualify, or was he a captain pick?
No, he was captain's pick.
Captain's pick, but that goes into the argument that Nick and I had with Spieth and everything. You can agree or disagree, but I think JT is good for the Ryder Cup on the U.S. side. I just had to say that because I am the biggest JT hater, and everybody knows that.
So this weekend, I want all three opinions. For the American side, the American team, who was our biggest liability? We did a whole show about ranking best to worst on the team. After it's all played out, who was our biggest liability? Jay, you start.
I think Harris English was all of ours. I think he was on the bottom. I think Colin Morikawa was an absolute disaster. I think people that we didn't maybe necessarily expect, JJ Spawn, unbelievable performance. Yeah, and like Mike just said, Scotty Scheffler was the most underwhelming, with the highest, what we all thought he could have done.
Yeah,
expectations exactly was definitely the biggest dud of the group.
Okay, Austin, what are your thoughts?
Well, I agree. I would just flip the other way around. Colin Morikawa, then Harris English, and yes, by far the number one golfer of the world. We're talking about of the world right now had the biggest disappointment. He won one match, and that was the singles match. When I'm not saying it didn't matter, but it didn't even matter at that point in time. Like, you're just playing. It's just like the rah-rah points when everybody took out their starters.
You know how we always say, like with Scotty, like he wins everything, and he even week to week he doesn't show emotion, he doesn't show passion. But do you think that hurt him this week? Like not having that, like the occasional, you know what I mean? Like not firing up, being the number one golfer in the world, and you're on the USA team, like absolutely showing almost zero emotion. Like it makes no
No,
sense to me. I
I
know
just
that's
feel
how
like
he
he
plays,
never did.
but it's just like
I just feel like he never did anything in the first day and the second day to have any emotions, even if he did. Like, even if he had no emotions and was just draining putts and beating his opponent, even if it wasn't in the first round in four ball where he gets to play his own ball the entire time, like he wasn't dominant in that by any means. So
I just feel like if we're playing in a four-man scramble at an outing and I make a 6 foot putt for a birdie, I'm going crazy to a crowd that doesn't even exist.
of
It's
course,
just the mentality. You have to if you're out competing on that kind of level for your country. Like Bryson said in his post-game interview, like it's I'm just so happy to be here. I love my country. It's all about pride for being out here and putting every single thing on the line. And I feel like I'm sure this will be a topic of conversation. Our team did absolutely nothing to show that. And all they keep bringing up is the crowd being terrible people. We showed no
We'll
we showed
we'll
no
dig
passion
into that in a
outside of
little
the
while.
Cambo.
I don't
Cheech,
think
Cheech, what's your feeling before we get too far away from it? Who was the biggest disappointment for the Americans?
I go Scotty one. You know, you're disappointed when you're the number one player in the world. You should play way better than he played. Russell Henley had two chances or more chances to end that match with Shane Lowry and just couldn't do it. The supposed best putter on our team couldn't make a fucking putt to save his life.
With the
And
12
I
names
throw
on a
and
board, we just throw a dart at it.
Colin's been a disappointment for the last year and a half overall in his game, and why he was even on that team is just beyond me.
Okay. Now, switching sides over to the European side, who was the biggest surprise for you? Cheech, we're going to go backwards this time. Cheech, who was the biggest surprise for you on the European side? There you are.
I won't say it's a surprise, but Fleetwood. Fleetwood played awesome. He always plays awesome in his events. The last few, I mean, obviously because winning the FedEx, and those tournaments that he choked away, he was just flat out awesome. And Ram's Ram, he played good too. Hatton did. And Rory just did Rory things.
Austin, who was the biggest surprise for you on the European side?
I would say Fitzpatrick. He was not that good 2 years ago. He was pretty solid. He was dominant. He went up against Bryson, which was very surprising, and he put a good run on him. But Bryson came back to at least get in there. But other than that, I feel like Fitzpatrick is probably the biggest person for Europe that I wasn't expecting to be dominant. And he, in all of his other matches, he was great. He was. Hate to say it.
So, quick question about that: Do you think eventually Fitzpatrick saw Bryson, standing there next to him, thinking, "Man, this is the kind of guy that shoved my head into toilets in primary school"?
Yeah, that he wishes he was. Yeah, absolutely.
Jay, who's the biggest surprise on the European side?
I echo Austin. I think Matt Fitzpatrick I didn't expect to get anything out of. He's to me is another dud, but he surprised the heck out of me. Fleetwood didn't surprise me. I figured he would light it up like he always does. He deserved the 4 points he won. Rory's gonna show up in these, Shane Lowry's gonna show up in these. I think Oberg was awesome. I think he was way better than I thought he would be, but I think Matt Fitzpatrick for sure. I think he played phenomenal. I mean, I can't count on both hands how many times he put it within 5 feet when he was in trouble. I mean, the guy really did what he had to do, and he played some big name guys too. So definitely Matt Fitzpatrick.
Just to give you an idea, like I love Tommy Fleetwood. I think
I'm
he's
shipping like that
great
tomorrow.
golfer. He was 4-0 2 years ago, and his first loss was in the singles for Ryder Cup. Like the guy's got one of the best Ryder Cup records right now.
So moving on,
we talk about moving forward in the Ryder Cup. Ludwig Oberg is going to kill us for the next 10 years in the Ryder Cup. He's only going to get better. He played in a Ryder Cup before he even played in a major. Just remember that. That guy is going to torment us. He is going to turn into the next Rory, but will keep his mouth shut. He doesn't say anything like Rory does. He's going to be the next guy that torments us in the Ryder Cup for the next 10 years.
But you saw
so he wasn't super dominant in this Ryder Cup.
He's got a mouth on him. He's going to be baby Rory for sure.
I don't know if he does. I don't see the same thing.
Definitely. He's so much better. He's again a quieter guy on tour, but his game is so much more elevated than he shows. And it's the same thing. Like a lot of the guys that are quiet they sneak up on you. All of a sudden they win 1, they win 2, they win 3, they win 4, and they put a bunch together. That's Oberg. He's got the game for it. And I think he's so young too. He's gonna be around for a long time.
Speaking of the future, looking forward 2 years from now, Ryder Cup, what do we think of the chances that Keegan Bradley makes a return appearance as a captain? Austin, what are your thoughts?
0%.
0%. Okay, can you give me like, do you think it's just like, give me a reason why?
Going into singles, he had the lowest match. I don't know how to describe it. We had the lowest setup for points ever.
Okay.
Period. And those are based off of his picks because in the singles, all you can do is decide what order you want to put them in. For four ball and foursomes, like you have to pick those out strategically as best as you can. So that those are on the coach and the captain's picks and the vice captain. So that's his job. Where 12 guys, you're just picking randomly. Where do you want to stack up your best guys? Do I want to put them at the top or the bottom? But I got to play everybody regardless. So, and I don't feel like it's all on Keegan. I really don't. I feel like it was just the card he was dealt. I don't even think he should have been captain. I don't think he should have been asked to be captain because he's still in his level where he's still able to play and he should have been in as a player. Yeah, he shouldn't have been asked to do this. It was just a whole Netflix thing put him into this, but that's a whole other story. So I'm going to go with 0%. They're not going to ask him to come back. I hope he's still playing well in 2 years, that he gets to play at least one more, because this would probably be the last peak Keegan that we're going to see.
Okay. Cheech, what are your thoughts?
There's more of a chance of him playing than captaining the next Ryder Cup. So I'm with Austin 0. I think it's
all right.
0.
Jay, what do you think?
I think there's a negative 46% chance that he'll ever be captain again. He may be an assistant coach or assistant captain or whatever they call him at some point, maybe 8 years from now when he's 47 years old. He might come back at that point. But right now, like you mentioned just a second ago, he's still competitive. He's still competing out there and winning events on tour. I think nobody should be captain if you're still actively winning on tour. I think, again, to the full swing thing, it was we feel bad for you. We'll give you this opportunity because you should have made the Ryder Cup, but we didn't choose you. I think it was stupid. He never should have accepted it. I know he's, again, like Bryson, prideful of his country. He wanted to be in that position and do what's best for the team, but I think it was stupid. I think what would have been best for the team is him to actually be one of those 12 guys.
I agree.
Okay. So in that vein, Jay, who do you think, who's your pick, the way too early pick for Ryder Cup captain for 2 years from now?
It's 100% Phil Mickelson, but he won't do it. He tweeted about it on Sunday. He's not going to do it. He wants nothing to do with Ryder Cup. His Ryder Cup career is over. He said he wants to sit back and watch it every year as a fan. He still enjoys watching it, but he doesn't want to do it. Again, everything you read on the internet is true, so it's got to be true. But yeah, I think Phil Mickelson would be the perfect candidate for it. I think he can rally up some of the live guys, especially if they ever were to change to hey, let's pick all 12 and not worry about OWGR. I think it would be amazing. He can bring more guys in that are better, that we don't get to see or the majority of people don't get to see every week, and that play in that team environment week out. That would really help in the Ryder Cup. So I would love to see Phil. Outside of that very marginal chance, I would say, man, I would love to see Phil. I would love to see. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you know what? We're gonna stick with one pick. That way, there's
Phil.
Possibly more for everybody else to pick. Austin, who is your dart throw? I think it's gonna be this guy 2 years from now. Or do you agree with Jay? I think it's gonna be Phil.
You said who would I want to be?
Yeah,
not who I think it would be. That's a difference.
All right, go ahead. Who do you think it's going to be?
Who do you think it's going to be?
No, it's two different questions.
You're right. That's my bad. I didn't frame it the right way to you. Who do you think it will be?
I think it will be. Come back to me.
Great. Austin, how about you give us both answers?
All right. Who I would love to see for the next one, because we're going to Ireland, I would love to see John Daly as the captain.
Yes.
I think someone that's won a U.S. Open. Who cares?
No, but would he not fire people up? Would he not fire people up? And they love him over there. He won the Open.
Yeah. I feel like he would be a great pick. I don't think he's going to be it by any means. Who they probably would pick is like a Jim Furyk, probably. Someone like boring and like, I don't know.
He's been a vice captain for
many years. He's been a vice captain a bunch of times. Okay. I feel like that's the role. I think he was he the captain of the President's Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I could definitely see that happening.
Cheech, what are your thoughts? Who would you want to see, and who do you think it will be?
Well, that's a good one. Yeah. He did. He won
Every,
President's
every
Cup
USA
captain,
guy's won as President's Cup captain.
and I think he co-captained a Ryder Cup. I think. You want
Awesome.
somebody that just has that. Like I thought Keegan would have been the perfect choice.
He would. No.
Outside
Keegan
of the
was a
flank.
great choice.
But John Daly.
Honestly, so Cheech, I was thinking the exact same thing.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And like that was the first person I come back. So not this coming Ryder Cup. The Ryder Cup after that is a course that he plays on, does a lot of stuff for. I forgot where it is. What's that going to be? 29. I believe that's the one he's going to be captaining. I remember them talking all about it because he turned this one down. He turned down the next one. So 4 years from now, I believe he's going to be taking that one.
I think
I just don't feel like he is that coach mentality. That's the problem. I don't feel like he is a great player, and some players are great players, but they're not good coaches. Some coaches are just great coaches, but they're not good players. I feel like I don't see him being that type of coach. He doesn't seem like a rah-rah type of guy. He's going to be like, yeah, just speed up your hand, do that, or just do this. Yeah, but the USA's won every single President's Cup. Like I think Europe could have won without
probably going to keep
him.
You know what's more interesting? I think all four of us can sit there and agree to this that the captain list for the European side is so much longer and easier to pick. Like you can go crazy, and I know the live guys can't do it, but Sergio would be amazing for that side. Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter, like they have so many. Henrik Stenson that can just go down the line, but
And
the
I feel
live
like
guys
because they love the Ryder Cup, like they love it, they're passionate about it. Those are the guys you want. Where USA, you don't see many of those guys.
I don't know if this is in your docket here. Oh, you shouldn't. I don't know if this is on the docket for tonight or not. But did you guys hear? Which I didn't know this. I knew this, but I didn't put two and two together with the court stuff going on with Liv as to why they were able to play this year but may not be able to play in 2 years. What do you guys think about that? Like Rom and all those guys may not be able to play in 2 years because they're and Hatton because just Rom and Hatton are the two that appealed after the fact. So all those other guys can't do it, but because they joined late to Liv, they appealed it after they already put the ruling that live guys couldn't participate in the Ryder Cup, and that's the only reason those two were able to play this year. But if it goes through the appeal before the next Ryder Cup, they won't be able to play. So that's pretty wild.
So how did Bryson get it?
Do you think that hurts the European team drastically?
It hurts more than it hurts us because we only had one guy in there.
And the Bryson question, Austin, was it was a DP World Tour, European Tour type thing. Yeah. Oh, Bryson was on the OWGR, and he had enough points to be a player.
Got it.
But it's the European side that had
they won't qualify on based on points.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. So so it only hurts them at this point.
They do. You can earn points that way. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. No, you're right. They qualified based on points, but only because they appealed the original decision, which was all the original live guys. That's the only reason. All those other guys can too, but now they can't. They all lost their cards for that tour, so they're not allowed to gain.
They
points.
lost their cards for the DP World Tour.
Yes, the the European Tour. Is it the same? The European Tour is the DP World Tour.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's what they were saying. Paul McGinley was talking about it. And he was saying that because those two guys came over to live later than the other guys, they were able to appeal the original decision. But Henrik, Sergio, Phil, all those guys who came in the beginning can never be captain and can never qualify for points to play. But if the appeal gets shot down before the next Ryder Cup in 2027, those guys will not be eligible to play, which will hurt their European team for sure.
I'm going to jump in real quick and just say all that's going to go away. Within the next 2 years, that'll get figured out. They're not going to risk not having a John Rahm and a Hatton in there. They're too good.
I agree with that.
Time will tell.
One final thing I want to bring up, guys, and only because social media and the news have kind of been all over it, where it is interesting the short memory that people seem to have about events like this, where the Europeans are blasting the unacceptable and abusive behavior of the Americans that are watching, that were at the event, because the same thing was said about how abusive the European fans were. And everybody's up in arms. I keep seeing on social media about everybody's up in arms about how, cruel and ridiculous, the Americans were at the event. Feel free to Google any FIFA match, any of them, and see what these people say to each other in Europe at FIFA matches. Go ahead and watch those videos. It's nothing. It's nothing. It doesn't even hold a candle. Just because you're American, you don't understand what they're exactly they're saying and the kind of nomenclature they're using to insult each other. It's terrible and horrible too, just like the way we talk to each other. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Is it horse shit, or should we really feel feel bad about how terrible our fans are?
I think it's a lot of thin-skinned golfers out there, just such babies. Get out there and play the Ryder Cup. You're playing for your country. So a couple bad things are said. Who cares? Here's the problem, right? Rahm didn't complain. Hatton didn't complain. DeChambeau didn't complain. You know why? Okay, DeChambeau's American, but you know why those two didn't complain? Because they play on the Live Tour where there's constant music, constant noise, but they block all of that out and they hit their shot. Rory doesn't used to it. He's a baby. Cries about everything. Shane was his little butt boy who had to gab his back about everything. It's a joke, please. You should be able to say whatever you want. And I found out Rory's wife didn't get a beer thrown at her. Did you watch the video in slow motion?
I saw it.
One guy put the beer in another guy's face. He went like that. He was pissed off. The guy had his beer in his face, and it went on her head. Come on, grow up.
Yeah, that's
What was said?
soft
What was
behavior.
said?
Austin, what are your thoughts?
Point.
I agree 100% with Cheech. Talk as much shit as you want. I do think golfers are the biggest prima donnas. Like, first of all, for a Ryder Cup, maybe not the PGA, maybe not on Live, you can't yell in their backswing. We're talking about professional athletes. When you go to an NBA Finals or when you're going to the World Series and the pitch is being thrown, everybody's screaming at you during a free throw in the NBA. Everybody's waving up their balloons and stuff like that to distract you at all times. If you can't hit a ball because someone just yelled in your backswing, that sounds absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry. I just don't agree with that. You should be able to say whatever you want, minus the family and minus the kids. I don't agree with that part of it. Like, keep that stuff to yourself. But you want to talk about they suck, they're shit, they're whatever it is, I'm fine with all that.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think a soft-minded man attacks, your spouses, kids, mothers. Like, leave them out of it. Be creative. God, I mean, like if I was following Rory around all day, I'd be chirping about how his buddy's dick tastes and everything like that. And Shan Lowry's so far up his ass, if he spits, it's coming out of Rory's mouth.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was good. Even Shane Lowry thought that. Everybody thought that.
Absolutely, and that's fine. And you know what? He took that one on the chin, and that's perfectly fine. All those things, I'm cool with. They should have thicker skin.
All right, guys. Cheech, final thoughts? Austin, what are your final thoughts?
My only two final thoughts, because I always look at the bad things that happen. One, you should have never played Colin Morikawa and Harris English a second time when they got romped. That 1 point right there could have been the deciding factor. And two, Russell Henley, like, everybody knows you can't leave a putt short in a scramble. It's the same thing. It's like swinging and missing, watching the pitch go by. Like, I'm fine with you swinging and missing, but you just sitting there watching the pitch go by, like, just a backwards K, I'm not cool with that. Like, go past the hole. Go past the hole, at least you tried. That will haunt him, because he's not going to be on the next Ryder Cup team. He's not going to be on the one after that either. That's going to haunt him for the rest of his life. He's going to be like Keegan. There's going to be a backpack packed in his suitcase packed in his closet, never opened again.
All right. Jay, what are your final thoughts?
Like she said, I think we knew the outcome pre-Ryder Cup, but you know what? On Sunday, the way they played and the way they fought and came back, it's like having a disastrous round of golf, but birding the 18th. It's going to make me come back and watch the next Ryder Cup in hopes for a better outcome. But, I mean, either way, it was entertaining, and Sunday made it watchable. And hats off to the Europeans.
Can I jump in one last question for all you guys? To get blown out.
To get blown out is much more disappointing.
Yeah, blown out.
Okay. Austin, what was your last question?
If you could swap out 3 guys on the U.S. team with 3 guys on Live, who do you think they'd be, and do we have a chance at that point?
I mean, I would definitely have switched out.
What was the question?
Taylor Gooch, DJ.
What 3 USA guys would you take out from the PGA and swap in with Live? And do you think we would actually have a fighting chance to beat them? Honestly.
I mean, you have to take out Harris English, Russell Henley, and Colin Morikawa, and swap them with, DJ. I love DJ. Akshay Bhatia, love him. And
no, not from PGA, not from PGA, from Live. Yeah.
Live only.
Yep.
And huge Gucci. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
To be
I
fair,
think Brooks
you're not a
steps
huge
up
on
in
Gooch,
big
but do you think he would have done
circumstances.
better? Do you think he would have done better than any of those guys that you listed that you would have taken out?
I think Nick
Absolutely,
Rush
he
would
would
have
do better
played
than all
better
of
than
them.
any one of those guys. They all played horrific golf. Nothing against Nick Rush, or
Another
maybe a little.
another different embarrassing photo of Nick Rush right
I'm
here.
saying I just don't. It was one of the poorest golf episodes. I mean, I don't even have words. It was horrible to watch. They all stink. They don't deserve to just go back on the PGA Tour and play. To be honest with you, they should just be kicked out of golf forever. It's hard to watch.
Brutal, brutal. Jay is giving him the axe.
Good.
Death
Corn
sentence,
Ferry.
banishment.
Those would have been my 3 picks though: Patty Reed, Brooks Koepka, and DJ. I feel like they would be a mammoth of a difference in all of those things. Brooks just lives for those moments, and on top of that, he just came off of the French Open. DJ's just DJ doing DJ things, and Patty Reed's Captain America. Like, you can't go wrong with all those guys. All those guys
Bunch
would
of
be
what ifs,
starting
though,
in the
man.
first 2
Bunch of
days.
what ifs in every sport. It's the same way. You can always
Of
say
course, of
this, if,
course.
that. You know
Always.
what? No, 2 years from now, we're gonna have to see. Hopefully, things open up and we can have more movement, but we'll see.
What if the Jets were owned by somebody else? Right, Cheech? Am I right? Doesn't
What
matter.
if?
You're an
Of
Eagles
life.
fan now. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like.
Chief, we already signed off. You're a little behind.
Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Let us know in the comments on X what you think of the Ryder Cup. What do you think about all the questions that we answered? Thank you so much for listening. Guys, let's get the fuck out of here.